I'm Lois Arde-Acquah, a Ghanaian artist. I have lived the greater part of my life here in Ghana, but specifically in Accra with my family. For me, growing up as a child, I recall always wanting to draw, color, or paint random things. But most importantly, I think my parents did an amazing job in guiding and helping me to realize this talent. And so, during my senior high school period, that was between 2007 to 2011, I chose visual arts as my major course, focusing on leatherwork, GKA, that's general knowledge in arts, and picture making. So immediately after that, I realized that my love for the arts solidified even more, and so I pursued my BFA and MFA in painting between 2011 to 2019 at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology in the Department of Painting and Sculpture in Kumasi. For this particular exhibition titled Lucavi, I worked on over 900 yards of black synthetic leather materials which were installed inside the gallery space of the Bouquet Foundation. The idea for this installation emerged out of my very first solo exhibition titled TikTok, way back in school on campus in KNUST, during my master's program. For that exhibition, I installed the works in an old abandoned building to suggest a spontaneous growth emerging from different parts of the building. And most of my audience seemed to be expressing feelings of discomfort, being in the space, with the creepy nature of the cut-out leather that was present. So for this exhibition, I decided to make that my focus, to deliberately create a space to push the creepiness or the creepy nature of the leather cutouts, which may cause my audience to feel uncomfortable and uneasy in this handmade, almost jungle space. I think my process has evolved over time. Initially, I started off by creating random dots on paper, and then I'll connect these dots one to the other to create these angular, almost zigzag-like patterns. And then I would fill them with my ink from my markers. At that point, my interest was centered on how little things gradually evolve into big things or complex issues. But with time, I realized that I could draw the patterns effortlessly without necessarily paying attention to the dots. Over the years of being consistently swallowed up in this process, I began to pay attention to seemingly repetitive activities. The idea of being in a particular thing or process or doing a particular thing over and over again for a period of time. For me, it's not just any process that catches my attention. I'm very much particular about a process that drains you emotionally, mentally, physically. A process that makes you feel very tired or exhausted. A process that demands a painstaking level of dedication of oneself. A process that is difficult or hard or seems almost impossible to achieve. It makes you feel like a slave, or it almost traps you. At the same time, it gives you freedom or it liberates you. That's something that for me, I am very interested in when it comes to my process. And so through that, I mostly use my body as a way to express or represent that idea of repetition. In terms of form, at some point, I started to think of other possibilities of what my patterns could be, what they could look like. And so I began to reimagine the patterns escaping from the flat surface. And so I became much interested in the transformation of the two-dimensional surface into something that seemed like a 3D effect or into a sculptural form. And so I did this by cutting out the patterns. And so through a number of experiments, I think the leather material works best for me.